On today's video, I'm taking a look at 3 very unique rangefinders. I promise you these 3 do things that you've never seen before, at least for me, someone who looks at technology all the time, sees everything that comes out on the market. These things really blew my mind. First up, we've got the Pro ZR from ShotScope. We're also going to be looking at the Caddy Talk Cube. And finally, we've got the Bushnell Pro X3, as well as the Pro X3 Plus that just came out. We're going to talk about that one as well. These 3 rangefinders do something that no other rangefinders on the market do. It's going to be a lot of fun. Let's get to work.
And by the way, if you're looking to buy any of these rangefinders, I've got links down below. Highly recommend you check out our partners like playbetter.com. We're going to get the best pricing on the internet, and it helps support Let's Play Through.
All right, first one up here is the ShotScope ZR. So this is going to do all the basics really well. We've got the slope function, which I like is a nice tactile button. You don't have to play around with the menu, you literally just slide that. It does have a magnet built in, which ShotScope in the past hasn't always done that. It has a DuraShield hard shell, so it should be very durable. Again, we've got the on-off slope function. Rapid fire detection, though, is where this rangefinder really shines. Okay, and that's what makes this one so special, is just how quickly you can get a number out there. Again, you got the red-black dual optics, a built-in magnet, and you've got the enhanced target lock. So let's take a look inside this box. ShotScope always has very nice packaging. Inside, we've got the case. That is a really nice case, probably the best ShotScope case I've ever seen. In fact, it rivals the Bushnell case. It looks almost like it, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was from the same factory, believe it or not. Inside, you've got your user guide, which I think we can figure this one out. You've also got a couple other little handy extras. You've got this lens cleaning cloth, which you probably should keep, although I don't. And you've got a clip if you want to clip it. If you want to mount this to the bag, you can use that little carabiner clip. Let's take a look at this unit. It's in the plastic right now. It's heavy in hand. You know you've got a decent rangefinder when you've got that heft. And you can see it looks super premium. You've got the big buttons up here. You've got an adjustment here in the eyepiece like most rangefinders will have, just so you can dial in the focus for you. You've got the slope adjustment here. Again, I love that feature right there. And again, for ShotScope, kind of a new technology, something we've seen in a lot of rangefinders, but you've got the magnet there. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Again, what makes this so special, so interesting, is just how quick it focuses. So we'll be testing that out on course. All right, first up is the Pro ZR here from Voice Caddy. So I've got a very difficult line of sight here through these trees. We're gonna see how quickly this thing locks on and how well it does. The flag's out there probably about 350 yards. Again, through this forest of trees, and this thing locked on immediately, 337. All right, so it's just crazy how fast this is. If you've ever used a traditional rangefinder, this is like going from dial-up to gigabit Ethernet. That is how quick this thing is, and it's really the standout feature of this rangefinder. Now, again, if you do want to make any adjustments, I've got it set to black text inside, but you can also hit this RB button if you want to switch it to red. It does it instantaneously. It's crazy just how quick it is. I've never seen anything like the speed this one possesses. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is hit my drive, and then I'm gonna show you a couple other features about this rangefinder. Oh, that's perfect. So there's one thing about this rangefinder. We talked about the build quality, which seems to be exceptional, but there's one little thing I did see. I was literally taking the battery out, and you've got this little twist tab to insert the battery, and that's got to be just in the right space to go and lock down into that spot. Well, I twisted this too hard, and so I actually bent it, and it's not quite locking in there as good as it should. So just something to be careful about with this rangefinder. Be very careful putting the battery inside and out of this thing. Heading up to the ball here, let's see again just how quick this thing is. Pace of play is so important out on a golf course. And I've got 97 yards. Again, it's got to be within a millisecond or two. I wish I had a device that could literally measure how quick that happens, but it's instantaneous. And again, having the magnet makes it so easy just to pop it up there. The only thing is just don't forget it. I always write my name. I have a little sticker with my name and email on it. Good idea, because every time I clip it up there, I feel like I leave it at the golf course. All right, we've got 97 yards. I've got gap wedge in hand. That is looking right on line. If it's the distance, we're gonna be in good shape, and it looks like it is. All right, pretty good for distance. We've got a birdie putt. I guess about 15 feet. Let's see if we can make it. And on the next hole, we're gonna try out the cube. I'm gonna tell you about the use case for the cube that is really exciting to me. Oh, give it to me. Give it to me! Oh, that's brutal. That is brutal that this counts as much as a drive, isn't it? All right, we're heading to the next hole here. We're gonna pull out another one of our cool rangefinders, the cube. Let's take a look at it. Okay, next up here's the Caddy Talk Cube. This is one that's new to me. I have not used a Caddy Talk product in the past. Saw it at the PGA show though, and it looked really, really exciting. So I gotta show it here for you. This packaging, super high end. I love that little flippy top with it's got like a magnet on it. And talk about build quality and some craftsmanship. How about that? Nice little compact package. Does not look like any rangefinder I've ever used. It literally looks like, it's not exactly a cube, but it's got those cubic type of proportions there. In terms of what else is in this box, before we actually take a look at the unit itself, you're gonna have the instructions, which these ones probably you should read because you gotta get this one right. We'll be demoing it out on course though. And then you've got this beautiful, beautiful little case. Behind this plastic, that's actually a chrome lettering. And so I'm not even gonna rip that off because it looks too good and I don't wanna scratch it up. Inside this case, you actually have the charger. This is a USB to USB-C charger. So unlike some of the other rangefinders that use a battery, this is something you're gonna plug in. We'll talk about battery life here real soon because I know that question will come up. And just like the shot scope, you've got a little carabiner there as well that you can attach this to your bag. You'd clip it right in there. You probably could put that on your belt too, but you don't want to look like a dad out there. You've also got the lens cleaning cloth as well. Again, good thing to carry in your bag. It's a beautiful little package. This is about as nice of packaging as I've ever seen out of a rangefinder. Can't wait to take this one out on course. Let's go do it now. All right, our next rangefinder up is the Cube. I gotta say, I just love the form factor of it. It's so different. And believe it or not, you'd think that a square wouldn't feel good in the hand, but it actually does. So let's see if we can spy this flag. It's again a ways out there. We're at 384 here, and it's a bit of a dog leg right. So let me see if I can actually get a line on that flag. Yes. Actual here is 388, very tough hole, very narrow. Again, the speed is not as quick as that shot scope, but accuracy-wise, I'd say we're spot on here as well with this one. And this Cube has a standout feature that I think is so good. I'm gonna tell you about it right after I hit this drive. Gotta keep it left. A lot of water on the entire right side of this hole. That was a very aggressive line, probably too aggressive, but we're playing an aggressive rangefinder. So this is the cool thing about this rangefinder. It's got this mode button here at the bottom that they call caddy mode. And what it does that no other rangefinder does that I've ever experienced is it triangulates your position. And the use case for this for me is especially on cart path only days. I'm here in Tampa, Florida. It rains almost every single afternoon. And if we get a good 3-4 days of rain, we're definitely going cart path only for the rest of the week. And I'm gonna show you what this thing can do. Now, the cool thing about this is I don't want to take my entire bag of clubs out there. Literally from the cart or right here from the cart path, I can hit my ball here in caddy mode. It's going to register that. Then I'm going to hit the flag stick, and it's going to tell me the distance between those 2 points. This is telling me 135, so now I'm actually going to use the other rangefinder, and we'll see if it actually is 135. But if it is, how useful is that? So 135 for me is this 9-iron, and instead of having to bring 3 or 4 clubs or drag my whole bag out here, I can literally just take this one, and we should be good to go. We'll double check it. All right, so 135 was the number that we triangulated to, and what we'll do is we'll check it right up against the Shot Scope Pro ZR and see what this thing's telling us from here. It was pretty darn good. 134 is what I'm getting, so within a yard. That's pretty incredible. Again, I didn't have to go back and get another club. I can just take my 9-iron here, and hopefully we're gonna knock one tight like we did in the last hole. But that is right at it. Woo! All right, so we got a birdie putt. I'm pretty excited about how we're playing today. So a couple other features this thing does. Of course, you've got slope built into this. It wouldn't be caddy mode without knowing the slope. So I'm playing here in a relatively flat course in Florida, but if you're in the mountains, you're gonna need that. And when I go places, my depth perception is not as good as those mountain people. And I've got to find out hey, it's 15 yards down or whatever, what do I need to adjust for? This will do that for you, just like the others that we're testing. It's got the red and black numbers as well if you want to test between them. And the way this one does is it has, instead of that focus knob here, you can literally just, and I kind of like this, it's right here built into the case. All right, so again, just a great form factor. Whoever designed this knew what they were doing. There's just the one big button up top and you got the mode button on the bottom. So I really like it, the simplicity of it. The only thing it's probably missing would be a magnet to go up here. Unlike the Bushnell or the Shot Scope, you don't have a magnet, but it does come with a pretty cool case, and you could attach a magnet to that case if you wanted to make it work that way. All right, let's make another birdie putt. I think we're due. Now that we're walking up to the hole, I see that the wind was kind of into me, and that's why we came up just a little bit short, but we're just on the fringe here. We've got a decent crack at birdie. Oh, I rolled right over. That was aggressive. That was aggressive. And now all of a sudden we've got a little bit of a difficult par putt coming back, but I've got faith. I've got faith. My line was perfect there, I think. If I had the speed right. All right, 2 rangefinders, 2 pars. So either one of them right now is pretty lucky, but we've got one more to test. All right, so taking a look at the Pro X3 here, we've got the, of course, you know, you're gonna get great distances out of the Bushnell. This is tour quality. This is what the pros are using. It's the most used rangefinder by a long shot out on tour. But the real cool part of the X3 here is gonna be the elements compensation. This is where we take elevation, barometric pressure, and some other weather elements into effect. Now the new Pro X3 Plus actually is going to use wind in the calculation too, and that is really incredible. You've got the dual display technology, red and black, just like we've seen before. You've got the slope locking function. It's actually a tactile toggle switch on the top of the lens, which is really cool. This construction is waterproof, not even water resistant, but waterproof. So you could fully submerge this rangefinder and it's gonna come out just as well. So I love that here in Florida. And then you've got the Bite magnetic mount, which is gonna be Bushnell's proprietary magnet that they put on rangefinders, really the first company to ever do it. All right, now if we take a look inside the box, there you have it. Great presentation. It's right there on top for us. Underneath of this, you've got that case. And that's exactly what I was saying. This case looks very familiar, doesn't it, to that Shot Scope case? Really nice construction, kind of a softer hard shell, real nice. Then you've got the lens cleaning cloth, your directions in there, and this one actually has the carabiner attached to it already. So same thing as the other 3. All 3 of these really great presentation and packaging. You can always tell a good product by the packaging, I always say. Now, to my knowledge, Bushnell was the first to create the magnetic technology to make it so easy for golfers just to carry these things in a golf cart, and they call it Bushnell Bite. It's the top of the line, and it's a very nice, secure hold. Now, the groundbreaking technology inside the Bushnell rangefinders is the slope with the elements. The new Pro X3 adds in wind, which is a new feature that's super exciting. This X3 from last year, which is still an incredible rangefinder in its own right, and you can probably find it on a discount. Again, we're here in Florida, so there's not a ton of altitude changes in Tampa at my golf course, Carrollwood Country Club, but this hole is actually a little bit lower than where we are here at the tee box. So when you look through the rangefinder, you're gonna hit the flagstick, which again, very quick, and you get a nice little red circle and some haptic feedback from this device, so you know that you've locked on. And on top, you're gonna see the yardage, which for me is 175 yards. With the slope correction on this particular hole, I got a little percentage down there in the corner, and it's actually 177 yards is how I need to hit this shot. We've got a little wind behind us, so I'm not getting the wind calculation with this X3, but you will get it with the X3 Plus. Very, very cool. All right, 177, 7-iron in hand here. Let's see if we can challenge this flagstick. Oh, it's another good shot. Just a little left of the pin. It's pin high. Yes, indeed, that's pretty darn accurate. All right, here's our pitch mark. It actually rolled out, so I'm putting from off the green, but distance there, spot on. Do we have a birdie in us? It's a bumpy ride. Not bad. So 3 holes, 3 pars, 3 incredible pieces of technology. I hope you learned a little something here today. I hope you'll subscribe to the channel if you're not already. and I'll catch you back here next time on another edition of Let's Play Through.